Think about what you did last night. At some point, you walked into a dark room, maybe a hallway, maybe a bathroom, maybe a kitchen at 2 a.m. And for just a second, maybe less, something happened. Not a thought, not a decision, a feeling. Your eyes moved a little faster. Something in your chest shifted. You knew there was nothing there. And yet, that feeling didn't care what you knew. Here's what I want you to understand. That feeling, every single person you have ever met has had it. Your parents, their parents, every human being alive on this planet right now. Not because something is wrong with you, because something is very, very right. That feeling is a program, and it has been running uninterrupted for 300,000 years. You didn't develop it, you inherited it, and no amount of logic or therapy or telling yourself to stop being ridiculous has ever fully made it go away. Because it was never supposed to go away. For almost all of human history, when the sun went down, the world went dark. Completely dark. Not dim, not moody, not cozy. The kind of dark where you cannot see your hand in front of your face. And in that dark, things were hunting your ancestors. Leopards, lions, hyenas, animals with eyes built specifically for low light. Animals that moved faster, saw further, and killed silently. Your ancestors had none of that. No claws, no speed, no night vision. What they had was a fire, and a nervous system that screamed the moment they moved away from it. That nervous system was not a flaw. It was the only thing standing between your family line and extinction. Think about what happened to the ones who didn't feel that. The ones who wandered out into the dark without hesitation. Curious, relaxed, unafraid. They died. Not eventually, not metaphorically. Specifically and quickly, and without passing that calm down to children. The ones who survived were the ones whose bodies flooded with alarm the moment the light disappeared. The ones who woke at every sound in the night. The ones who always kept their back to something solid. Those people had children. Their children had children. One of those children was you. You are not descended from the fearless. You are descended from the ones who were afraid and survived because of it. The fear didn't stop them from living. The fear is why they lived. But here is where it gets more interesting, because this is not just about predators. Your brain has two systems for handling threat. When danger is distant, when you can see it, think about it, plan around it, your rational brain is in charge. You assess, you decide, you stay calm. But when danger is close, when it is right here, right now, and you cannot confirm it isn't, a completely different structure takes over. Something older, something deeper, something that does not wait for your permission. It doesn't ask, is there actually something in this room? It asks, can I prove there isn't? And in darkness, you cannot prove that. So it responds as if there is. Every single time. This is not irrationality. This is the math of survival. Assume safety when danger is real. You die. Assume danger when everything is fine. You have a bad night. Your brain ran those numbers 300,000 years ago. It chose bad nights, and it has been choosing them ever since. And here is the part that should make you stop and think. Your rational mind, the part reading this, the part that knows nothing is in that hallway. That part is the newcomer. It showed up late. The older system was already running the show, and it still is. This is why the monster is never in the light. This is why the shape in the corner only needs to be ambiguous to terrify you. Your brain doesn't need to see something. It needs to not be able to rule it out. And the moment the lights go off, your brain stops receiving evidence of safety. So it starts generating evidence of threat. On its own. For free. Every horror movie ever made is built on this one mechanism. They didn't invent the fear. They just learned how to aim it. The darkness you feel in a theater is the same darkness your ancestor felt crouching by a dying fire. The mechanism is identical, only the stakes have changed. Now here's something almost nobody knows. Your body doesn't just feel different in the dark. It actually is different. Every night in the hours before dawn, your cortisol levels rise. Cortisol, the stress hormone, the one that sharpens your focus and prepares your body for action. Why before dawn specifically? Because that was the most dangerous window, the coldest part of the night, the time predators were hungriest, the time your ancestors were most likely to die. Your body still remembers this, right now, tonight, in whatever building you're sleeping in. Your hormones are still counting down to a dawn that mattered 300,000 years ago. You didn't change the clock. You just changed the room. Your circadian rhythm is not a sleep schedule. It is an ancient threat calendar, still running, every night, inside you. And then there is this. For most of human history, people did not sleep the way you sleep. They did not lie down and wake up 8 hours later. They slept in two separate pieces. First sleep, for a few hours after dark. Then they woke up, not by accident, not because something disturbed them, naturally, deliberately, as part of the night. This waking period was called the watch, 1 to 2 hours in the middle of the night, spent lying in the dark, thinking, talking quietly, listening to the world outside. Then second sleep until morning. This wasn't a disorder. It wasn't insomnia. It was written about in medical texts, in diaries, in poetry, across centuries and cultures. It was simply what humans did. Your ancestors did not try to escape the night. They learned to live inside it. They built their sleep around the dark, not against it. Darkness wasn't the enemy. Darkness was the environment. And they moved through it on its own terms. And then, about 140 years ago, we turned the lights on and never turned them off. For the first time in 300,000 years of human existence, darkness became optional. You could simply choose not to experience it, and the nervous system that had spent all of that time calibrating itself to natural light and natural dark, the one built for firelight and starlight and the two-phase architecture of sleep, was suddenly running in a world with no real night at all. Think about what that actually means. Every single adaptation your body made to darkness, the cortisol rhythms, the sleep cycles, the threat detection system, was calibrated for a world that no longer exists. You are running ancient software on a machine that has completely changed the operating environment. And nobody asked your nervous system if it was ready. The consequences are not abstract. Artificial light at night suppresses the hormones that govern sleep. It fragments sleep architecture. It interferes with memory, immune function, mood. The fear of the dark, that ancient alarm, you can live with that. It kept you sharp. It kept your ancestors alive. But the removal of the dark, that is something your body was never designed to handle. You evolved to be afraid of the dark. You were not designed to never experience it. So here is where you actually are. You are a 300,000-year-old survival machine living in a world that appeared roughly yesterday. Your brain is running programs that were written before language, before cities, before agriculture, before anyone had a word for fear. And those programs are still doing exactly what they were designed to do. You cannot turn them off. You cannot reason them away. But you can understand them. And understanding changes something. It doesn't make the feeling disappear, but it changes what the feeling means. The next time you feel that tightness when the hall goes dark, that low hum of something watching, that is not weakness. That is not a malfunction. That is the voice of every ancestor who survived the night long enough to become your ancestor. They all felt it, every single one of them, and it kept every single one of them alive. And one more thing. If you sometimes wake up at 3 in the morning and cannot get back to sleep, lying in the dark, mind running, waiting for something you can't name, your ancestors did not call that insomnia. They called it the watch. They sat with the night. They let it be dark. And eventually, morning came. It always did. It always will. Tonight, when the sun goes down and you flip that switch, light will flood the room, and you won't think twice about it. But somewhere underneath that reflex, something is already paying attention, already scanning, already waiting for dawn. It always has been, and now you know why.